All right, let's take you now to the Polish capital, Warsaw, and Wojciech Przybylski is the editor-in-chief at Visegrad Insight. Welcome to the programme. How is Poland coping right now with such a high number of refugees coming into the country?
Well, first of all, the numbers that we see, importantly, they're not located in any refugee camp, but I would say miraculously, they're being accepted and hosted by families. People give their homes, give shelter, under their own roof, or they use the apartments and houses around which are empty to host newcomers. But this is, let's not joke ourselves. This is just the first wave. The biggest migration surge in the modern history of Europe, with over 1 million people crossing the border of Poland, and that number is quickly rising. The situation will be quickly deteriorating.
Now, what do you mean by quickly deteriorating, if I may interject? Is it because Poland may not have the capacity to cope with even more numbers?
There are bottlenecks. These are first of all bottlenecks at the communication nodes, and we also have those most willing to help, people who were most willing to help. They were first to rush, civic society organizations. They are there. They're continuously helping, but the capacity of private homes will be at some point reaching its maximum. Poland is a hospitable country altogether. There are more people to host, but also migrants want to go to refugees. They want to go to primarily to bigger cities where their chances to put together ends, find some job are simply higher than in smaller settlements. So this is another bottleneck. Altogether, also, we haven't seen people yet from the most severely attacked regions, and they're only coming. And the human tragedies that we're going to see also in Poland, and we'll have to have much more traumatized people also on our borders. This is only coming. So that's why I say the situation will be deteriorating. At the same time, everyone, I think, in the world are uplifted by the spirit of human solidarity that is here.
Absolutely, and we've seen some incredible welcoming pictures there. I just want to ask you, if I may, open up a completely different front. Big news that we've been hearing is that the US could send planes to Poland if Warsaw sends jets to Ukraine. What do you make of this potential deal?
As we know from that weekend, the last weekend, when Secretary of State Mr. Blinken was in Poland also, and then he commented on the talks he has held, and the US administration continued to hold with the Polish administration, there are efforts to transfer ownership of jets, Soviet-made jets that Poland has. There's 23 of them. To the Ukrainian army. It's not an easy, from a legal, technical, also security perspective, but the talks are ongoing. They have been confirmed by the Polish side also, and hence you see, Poland to get rid of 23 jet fighters as a front country of NATO. It seeks to have some reassurances that our fleet will not be, depleted. I mean, not depleted, but our fleet would be not smaller overall, and the allies would come in with aid. And this is why U.S. is considering. They cannot make the pledge because the Congress would need to approve that to deliver F-16 fighters that Poland already have.
But is there a concern by Poland that there could be repercussions from Russia if it does go ahead and accept planes from the US as part of that deal?
There are no repercussions whatsoever to be expected for delivery of arms to a fighting nation. This is not even an issue. It hasn't been an issue also before. You have Turkey supplying Ukraine with drones. You have all the countries around in Eastern Europe, including Germany, also supplying Ukraine with anti-tank and anti-air equipment. So this is one other tool of how you can fight for your sovereignty, for your independence in Ukraine. The issue would be, and this is very important when it comes to vocabulary, that these are not Polish jets, or Poland is not sending jets to Ukraine, because that could be interpreted by some who would wish to interpret it this way as a hostile activity or potentially hostile activity towards Russia. We're not also going to allow for airstrikes in Poland for Ukrainian pilots to take off from them. So this is also not happening. This is not going to happen because none of the NATO countries, including Poland, wants to risk an open conflict with Russia because of that. So there is it's a clear responsibility on us, expert community, and people who translate, you know, the policy to the broad public opinion, to describe it in terms as they are. This is about transfer of ownership of. Potential transfer of ownership of the jets for Ukrainian army, which is defending itself.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Wojciech Przybylski, thank you so much for speaking to us today on TRT World. Really appreciate it.